if you're trying to get into the field of sustainability, it is always useful to get some technical or knowledge in a particular area and to show interest in an industry or a focus area that you're most passionate about. For instance, if you are very interested in green building, how to save energy, how to build energy efficient buildings, embody carbon emission scope 3, then you should focus your expertise on some of the engineering knowledge and building knowledge.
I think, yes, communication is very important skills to translate ESG sustainability message to my company, because a strong sense of purpose is essential for committing to sustainability work. But it's I would say it can be strengthened through many preparations and practices. I need to coordinate with different departments and even talk to senior management, lead them to buy in about how I translate my ESG language to them, and then consider the perspective of from their department or stakeholders. For example, what do they need to hear to understand why ESG or sustainability is important to you, to your department, and even to the whole company, and what led our external stakeholders think it's worthwhile to invest for our company. So this is showing how my team and I to encourage them to get a sense of purpose around ESG, and then let everyone to be on the same page and towards sustainable business and planned with the planned ESG strategies.
Sure. That's a really great question, because I myself also find sustainability as sometimes too broad, and I'm not sure how am I going to develop my subject expertise in the area. So I guess I would suggest the younger generation, if you're trying to get into the field of sustainability, it is always useful to get some technical or knowledge in a particular area and to show interest in an industry or a focus area that you're most passionate about. For instance, if you are very interested in green building, how to save energy, how to build energy efficient buildings, embody carbon emission scope 3, then you should focus your expertise on some of the engineering knowledge and building knowledge. And for careers, you can also pursue in the fields of construction industry or real estate. In that way, you're able to build up a career ladder that can accumulate and make use of your subject expertise information. And it's also easier for you to build your credibility to communicate with other people in the industry. For instance, for construction industry, traditionally, it's a lot of experienced engineer working in the field, and it might be harder to communicate with them if you don't even know how to manufacture cement or concrete. So I guess understanding that, which area you would like to focus on, and to do your own research, study, and keep up to date with the industry trends would be really helpful. I guess I can go first. The most common challenge for me would be to get all the stakeholders on board, because as a retailer, I think we are faced with the problem of a very complex supply chain, and there are so many different parties to engage, and commercial team, buying team, sourcing team, suppliers. So it's very difficult to align them, and sometimes I don't even know who to contact for a particular issue. So I guess figuring that out and navigating in the organization, understanding the structures and hierarchies is a very important way to overcome the challenge.
Yeah. And Joyce?
I think the same, because as at HKBN, our ESG is quite, I can't say very new, but we have been starting ESG strategies for a few years ago, and then most of the department are still learning what is ESG or sustainability. So we have to provide different innovative educational program to tell them what is ESG and how they embed this into their daily operations. Also, we need to identify who are the key ESG owner in each department, so that we can consolidate all the information and find out what is the best ESG strategy in our company.
Yeah, find an owner that will help, and Gladys.
Yeah.
For myself, it's actually the same. So for myself, it's about the employee. So I think this is all three of us said is like very common challenge. So it should be like a very common issue we see in sustainability. So for myself, I think getting an employee to engage and their support is actually very difficult, because if you see sustainability in a different angle, most of our work sometimes is actually putting extra workload into employees' daily work. And actually, we are changing their habit. So some people, they would just like, oh, I'm very happy in my role, my daily job scope. I don't want to put extra time to do something extra, and particularly if I don't understand. For example, you are putting recycling system in the office, and then you remove all our individual bins because you try to engage people to do more recycling. People will just feel like, oh, you make me walk more in the office, even though it just feels step more. They will feel like this is like the end of the world. And this is also the same of other sustainability strategies as well. So I would say it's very difficult, because different departments, they see sustainability in different perspective. But very commonly, they just see it, oh, I'm using my extra time. You are affecting my my daily work habit to make me just don't feel comfortable. So I think that is something that are very common, and we all sustainability professional is learning and improving every day in this area. Well, all right. Actually, I just experienced this like a few months ago. I just hired a quite young junior members to my team. But actually for myself, I look into more in soft skills. So first, communication, verbally, written. So I would say depends of, I just take myself, my company as an example, because we are multinational company. So I would prefer your English is at least, I can understand you when you verbally speak, you're doing presentation, or you work in some sort of like holding events verbally, and then written at least, you don't need to be like professional because you graduate your first job. I don't expect you to be like a professional writing some like some master degree paper standard, but at least we can understand you. This is the first skill. And secondly, you will need to have sort of like a little bit like a sound understanding, background knowledge about sustainability. Like I said, I think sustainability is different in different industry, and also different in as a different position. So you have a sound understanding, and then when you join the team, you keep learning. This is also my own experience as well. And then thirdly, I will looking into your understanding of this industry you are applying for. You work in sustainability, but also you need to understand this business, what the nature is, what is a stakeholder, what do you think this industry can have better improvement. So the last one, I think, is actually the most important thing, is attitude. Because for young generation, you know, it's their first job. Sustainability is not a easy role to work on, I would say. So I will look into the attitude, like, are you willing to learn? Are you willing to keep asking? Are you willing to put a lot of effort, time, energy to communicate, talk to people in the company, you know, even though maybe you don't know them, they are very senior, you're scared, it's your first job, but your attitude is positive, you think nothing is impossible. So I think these 4 elements what I'm looking for. I also maybe because my role is more not in a consultancy role, it's not that technical. So I won't like Joy. I know Joy from a very technical background, practical background. But for me, I'm really looking into soft skills more.